Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Mr. Bone, your favorite bone, and today I'm wanting to kind of show off some things about Blood on the Clock Tower, the program that we're going to be using during our Dead Men's Bluff venture group. So, to start off with, when you log into game, this is what you're going to see. This is going to be your personal grimoire. And you're going to be able to see how many people you are playing with. The storyteller usually shows up in the top left hand corner. Right now I have stepped down from the storyteller just because I wanted to go through and explain some of the controls of what you have as a player. Now, first off, I'm going to be assigning each and every single person here a role. One of these for our first one, which this is the Trouble Brewing script. There are 22 different possible characters that we may have, and depending on how many players that we have, determines how many are going to be in there. Now, if we have a full 12-member party, just hovering right over the center of the screen, as you should be able to see my mouse there, you can see for a 12-player game, there should be 7 townsfolk, 2 outsiders, 2 minions, and 1 demon. 9 good versus 3 evil. Now, what are all these roles? Now, if you want to know what those roles do, there is this character section down on the right-hand side, and you can actually look through here and see what every single role does. Now, as you read these are written in a way that they are being read to you. So, just taking the top one, for example, you start knowing that one of 2 players is a particular townsfolk. So, very simple, and all of them are written in that same way. So, if I was playing as a washerwoman, I would be told 2 players, let's say seat 4 and seat 9, and that one of them is the virgin. I'd be down to a 50-50 shot that one of them's a virgin, and I would have no idea what the other one is. But every single one of these works that way. It is written as if it is being read to you. Now, if you want more information about these, you can always, as you can see periodically while I'm hovering over the icons, there's this book. So if I click on it, it'll actually take me to the wiki. That way I can read up on tips and tricks for it, how to bluff it if I'm on the evil team, so on and so forth. But that isn't super important there. So you have this to be able to keep track of what characters you may think, and some people may just come up and tell you the truth. Some people may lie. Now, let's say that I am the washerwoman here, and I'm wanting to fill this out. Now, as you can see, I can click on any of these and fill it out. So let's say that I got notified that seat 4 and seat 9 were the possible virgins. So I could put townsfolk down for both, and whenever I figure it out, well, let's say that I believe that seat 4 is the actual virgin. I can put townsfolk there. And I can put wrong over here. That way, when I go through and continue trying to figure out everybody else, I know that I need to come back in here and change this one. And you'll notice that there are other ones. So along the inside of this ring, you'll notice that there's another bubble here. So this is going to be for different things you want to put down there. So since I'm the washerwoman, I want to make sure I know who I believe is the townsfolk, and I want to make sure I know who I believe is wrong. But you can see right off the bat, there's a couple others that are in here. And these are relevant to who I believe is in the game so far. So, for example, the Virgin, first time you're nominated, the nominator is a townsfolk, they are executed immediately. So the moment that the virgin is nominated by anyone, they no longer have an ability. And I can mark that on theirs. That way we know whether or not, if they still have their ability. Of course, you can always create a custom one. Actually, I'm going to put it over here. And Halaliar Probs Imp. You can just create anything that you want. And there is other reminders. That way you can go through and see what else might be in there as you fill everything out. Now, beyond that, we do have some keybinds. The most common one is going to be raising your hand. So when we are not nominating, this is going to be how you raise your hand. And when we are nominating, it'll actually show up on top of your icon or camera feed, showing that you are voting against whoever is nominated. And you can always refresh just by hitting T. And if you want to see the night order sheet, you can hit O. So this is going to be what you're going to be able to see as the night order. So first night, minions are going to get info, demons are going to get info, the poisoner and spy are going to be the first two to act on night 1. And then you can see that it's a whole bunch of townsfolk, and then finally the butler. On every other night, night 2 and beyond, you're going to see that the poisoner acts first, then the monk, then the spy, scarlet woman, imp, townsfolk, and then the butler. Assuming that these roles are in play. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you some basics here. Also should mention that you will have the option of voice chat and even request private chats with people. Or even send messages to your neighbors and such, in case you don't want to do that. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. Of course, there's going to be other settings and such that you can do. But that's pretty much it. The rest we can take care of. Hold up. The only other thing that you might be interested in doing is going into the settings, which is cog, third option down here, settings. And here you can go through and adjust stuff, such as the token size, any pronouns you want, what you're called, reminder token size. If you need color blindness mode, there's 7 different modes for that. You should be able to change your background, cosmetics and such. Chat here, I do recommend setting up your microphone and or camera if you want. That way you can go through and easily talk in the game. And then you can always turn on push to talk if you want to do that. Listen to voice chat, which these are also up here in the top right hand corner. That way you don't have to go in here all the time and mess with this. Same thing with the camera. If you have it enabled, you'll see a camera option up here too, so you don't have to come in here. Different options, like if as a player, if you want to see the bluffs tab, otherwise it defaults to only the demon seeing it. You can set up for duplicate reminder tokens if you want, such as in my example earlier for the washerwoman. That might be helpful for some of you, might not be. Play chat request sound effects at night. I would recommend turning that on because some of you, I am going to be trying to chat with you at night. And then a whole long list of shortcuts if you are really wanting to go through that. Now, you don't have to, but you definitely can. And then if you're looking at some of the other dills, so for example, I do have the clouds on for the night phase. I do have the condensed character sheets because I want to make sure that I can have this out when I'm talking to people. And I can still see the entire town. Without that being on, let me show you what that would actually look like. As you can see, a good portion of the town is hidden behind everything else. So I do plan on having that up and running while I'm doing it. Now, you're welcome to get everything set up the way that you want. I just hope that you have fun. And good luck solving and finding the demon or confusing the living hell out of everybody, depending on which side you're on.